This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to hear some normal news or good news? What do you think? I mean...
Well, that's a random question.
I like how the good news is it's normal.
Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you, but I mean, I got to do a lot of sifting if you want good news. If you really want good news, that means I got to do some work. Normal news, I got plenty of that for you. All you got to do is you fall into a normal news story.
I would like some moderately okay news.
Oh, all right. This one, you know what? This one might even be better than that. Oh. There's a store called JB Hart Music in Colorado. And this is an awesome story. There's a young dude, his name is Fallon, and he would go to that store in Colorado all the time and ask to play the signature Dimebag Darrell guitar that they had. Ooh. And now Fallon, he's got intellectual and developmental disabilities due to a condition called Williams syndrome, but he's way into music, and he's always wanted his own guitar. Of course, they're expensive, so he settled for the next best thing. He'd go into, JB Hart Music. He played Dimebag Darrell's signature guitar, and that's what he would do.
I'm looking at the picture of that guitar. I do remember. It's a very iconic style to it. It's kind of almost like the Flying V, but it's got a little bit more to it than just the Flying V.
Yeah, almost looks like a Flying X.
It's almost like a shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a shocker guitar.
Yeah. And, I don't know how else to describe it, but that's like the only way I could think of it.
You gave me the perfect visual, man, right there.
Yeah. Knowing Dimebag Darrell, not I knew him, but like knowing the stories of Dimebag Darrell, I wouldn't be surprised if he joked about that.
Yeah. It's a sweet looking guitar.
Oh, hell yeah, it's a cool guitar.
It really is. So how about this? I mean, you talk about Good Samaritans. One day last year, somebody came into the store and they saw Fallon playing that guitar. And after this customer, who nobody knows who it is, it's anonymous, said, you know what? I'm going to buy this guitar. And the next time Fallon comes in the store, please give it to him.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
The problem is that what the store didn't know is that, and the timing was just horrible, Fallon's family moves out of town. And so he doesn't go back to the store for a long time. 8 months they didn't see him because he moved to Texas. But eventually he did come back to visit his family. And on New Year's Eve, he goes to the shop. And that's where he finally gets his gift.
Wow, awesome. That's cool.
What are the odds, though? Like, something awesome is about to happen. I'd imagine the people at the store are just stoked because they see this kid all the time, and they're like, oh, we can't wait to surprise him. And then he never comes back. And you're just like, you have got to be kidding us. How do we find this kid?
I know. You're like, man, we got that. Because you see the guitar every time, and you go, hey, when was the last time Fallon was in?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's been a while. And then the months tick by. Now, here's me. Look, I mean, I love a good story, but at some point you got to go, look, if this kid doesn't come in, what do you say to him? I mean, who's got dibs?
Which one of us is the biggest Pantera fan?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Who's good? I mean, it's a sweet. Look, I'm not a Pantera fan as much as Fallon, but you know what? That's a cool looking guitar.
And what, then the anonymous guy pops in from time to time, like, oh yeah, that kid loves that guitar, I tell you.
Yeah, right. You're just going to keep that lie going on, you horrible human being?
Like, well, where's that kid? Like,
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Oh, you should have seen his face.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I mean, whatever. Yeah, you know, I would have Larry David. I have no doubt about it. It would have been a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment.
I could totally see BJ to be like, well, where's the kid been? Oh, why is he come in now? He doesn't need to. He got the guitar. Like, that's always why he used to come in. He hasn't been in since.
He's having a great time, though. I will tell you, you know, that guitar, man, is bringing a lot of joy. I would find a way to white lie my way, so I wasn't exactly like I was lying, but I would be like,
all right, then what happens when the anonymous person possibly runs into Fallon and his family during the holidays and says, oh, you're the kid from that guitar store. I heard you got a guitar from them. And he's like, nope, didn't get a guitar. Now what are you going to do?
Then I'm going to move out of town.
Okay.
Wow.
Then I'm going to move out of town. Yeah, I'm out.
All for a guitar.
Yeah, I'm out. It's over. You know, I pack it up, tell the family we got to get out of here. They're on to us. We're out.
It's crazy. Danny's mom just texted us on text line, just said, way to one-up me, you jerks. To the anonymous guy, because she just surprised Danny with a guitar.
True.
Yeah, but it wasn't a Dimebag Darrell's signature guitar, was it?
No, but it was a sweet Les Paul.
Yeah. And orange instead of blue, like the one he got.
But she wasn't anonymous. She needed to let you know that she got it for you.
If I'm not mistaken, Danny said he did get it from Santa. So, I mean, in a way, you know what I mean? There was no credit taken, right? Oh, all right. So that's a feel-good story. See, now that's a story. It took a while to get that story because you got to dig. But there you go. There's your moderately okay story, Steve.
That's so cool, though. I would love to be in that situation where financially you can just be like, oh, man, you know what? Next time that kid comes in, give him that guitar. I hear some money. You know, like that Dave Grohl thing where he'll go around and like give somebody $1,000 tip just because he can.
And I feel like more and more these things are probably happening because you just want to see good stuff happen to the point where you don't mind being the catalyst just because of just how it is out there, you know, with everything we've been going through the last couple of years. I feel like people go, I want something good to happen and I'm going to do it. You know what? I want to be the catalyst for good.
Yeah, but I don't know if I saw a kid rocking on the drums at like a guitar center or something along those lines, be like, can't afford to buy the kid those drums, but you know what? I think I could spring for the sticks. Hey, next time he comes in, let him keep those sticks.
If you're the kid, you know, especially if you've heard about the Fallon story, you're like, okay, I know he's anonymous, but we need to get this cheap ass. What do you mean I get just the sticks?
Hey, kid, with these drumsticks, you can make anything a drum.
That's true. Wow. They're like, oh, I got the anonymous donator from Wish. That's just great.
I thought you were going to go down the bongos route.
Wow.
Instead of
Not
sticks.
even.
Yo,
Not even.
Sticks are expensive, you jerks.
So here's Steve.
$6 a pair.
Here's that iconic scene where Steve's at a restaurant and he sees that poor little kid out there who looks like he hasn't had a meal in years. And he's just got his hands and his face in the wind. And Steve's like, you know what? I feel bad for that kid. Go out and take him a menu. Go give him a menu.
And a water.
Okay, not you guys are just being jerks because I would clearly get them an appetizer.
Oh, you get him an app.
Nice.
Oh, all right. Well, an app is
on the dollar menu, of course.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, let's not get crazy over here. We got a guy that got busted by the cops because he got stuck in a bush. Well, you know what? If it's a story about a bush, you know Steve's got it for you. He's got the Mix Report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learned to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science, applied to life.
99.9 KI. Oh, hello.
Hey-yo.
Hey. KISW. Oh, yeah. There you go. All right. Yes, it's 99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, guys, and thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Migs Report. Today, it's National Day that we do twice a day all the time. Trivia Day.
Oh, yeah, your day, buddy.
Wow. That's right. So we'll celebrate it today by playing a trivia game twice this morning.
Wow. Boy, you're really, you're pulling out all the stops.
And we'll call it Beat Migs.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
It's a catchy name.
And also, it's a very nice day if you enjoy pasta like myself. It's National Spaghetti Day.
Oh, man, that sounds delicious.
Some sweet noodles and butter, baby. Noodles and butter.
All right.
And butter. Or spaghetti pie.
Spaghetti pie, that's good.
Or maybe you head on over to the Philippines and you get yourself the mixed spaghetti. Because, well, McDonald's, they sell spaghetti in the Philippines. They used to actually sell it here like 40 years ago. Like, it used to be a menu item on a McDonald's menu. Yeah. In fact, I guess there's a McDonald's location in Orlando that you can still get mixed spaghetti. Oh, wow. Which I want to try.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully it's near Disney World, right? It's got to be in that vicinity.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be. So it's got to be a quick drive. Come on.
Oh, that looks so delicious.
Wow.
It just looks, the kind of spaghetti you like when you're like 5.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm in because I still enjoy it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a simpleton when it comes to my spaghetti. Red sauce or butter, that's all I care for.
All right, there you go.
All right. Let's talk about this guy. He's in Wisconsin. He was running from the cops. Apparently left his car after he was pulled over because he had a broken light. I'd imagine that there was more issues with this guy than just a broken light because, well, he got out of the car, started running, the cops started chasing him, and they caught him because, well, he was trying to run between a bush and a fence, and he got stuck in the bush.
Yeah, baby.
And the cop, of course, has the chest cam, so you get the audio of it, and man, it's intense. The cop's yelling, but the guy just makes like the most childish owie sound when they finally do catch up to him. Here's the audio.
Stop running! Stop right now! Get out now! I can't.
Yes, the man did say owie.
He did say owie.
He said owie like he was like 3.
Yeah.
Owie, I got a boo-boo.
Yeah,
Officer.
that it de-escalates the situation. Like, I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of force with this guy.
That's not how you think he's in the back of the cop car and the cops are looking at him like, did you really say owie?
Yeah, I did.
You got an owie.
Yeah, I got a buoy. That's why I said an owie. Come on. When you get a buoy, you say owie.
And it's nice to know that Jack Bauer now works as a cop in Wisconsin.
Everyone back!
Oh, that's so true.
Stop running!
Yeah, that is. He did have a good Jack Wet tone to him. I love that.
For those that are maybe too young, Jack Bauer was a character on a show called 24 once.
too young.
Vicky, do you remember 24?
I remember because you guys always talked about it, especially when I first started working here.
That's not good enough.
Danny, any idea what 24 is?
No.
I can't do this.
Oh, it's about
how old is
20
it?
years? It might be close to 20 years old when its debut.
Is that the one that used to have Kiefer Sutherland on?
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I know
Put down your weapon.
Wow. 2001.
Yeah. Wow, 2001 was the debut, so...
I was 11.
Wow, 20 years old. Over 20 years old, 24.
Dude, 24 can now legally drink.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Wow. I can't believe it's that old.
Yeah, that just made us feel old.
Yeah, I don't like this anymore.
I don't either. All right, well, let's play a fun game with this guy. That, obviously he ran from the cops not because his taillight was broken, but because something else was going on with the guy. So I thought it'd be fun to figure out what exactly was he running from the cops because of. And I was curious what you guys think.
Wow. Wow. An owie kind of guy? What was he running? It had to be because of drugs.
That is correct. But now let's play. What drug was he holding?
Oh, owie. If he says owie.
I love that we're using owie as like
owie's the way to go. All right, I'm going to say ecstasy.
Ecstasy. That's a great guess, but unfortunately you are
wrong.
Dang it, I was going to say Molly. They're not the same thing, are they?
I mean,
yeah, basically.
I thought they were.
Same family of hugs.
All right, I'm just going to say just like illegal pills, like pain pills.
Wrong.
Danny. Cocaine.
Wow. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. You know it.
You know what, Steve? I think we just identified the person who would say owie if they were on the run from the cops. That would be Danny.
Yeah.
Cokeheads love saying owie.
I would be crying too at that point. So.
Hey, if you're out there on the road, you might want to be careful. There's a lot of issues going on. People are spinning out. There are multiple wrecks out on the road because of the ice on the roads. In fact, one of the members of our show, this is like a first-hand news reporting, BJ, because not only are we talking about, there's even like a state trooper apparently got into a wreck because of a spin out. So, it's that bad. Like, it's just, take it slow, everybody. But a member of our show spun out while he was on the road and went into the ditch.
Okay, so it wasn't Vicky because you said him.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to have to say it was Danny again. And did you say owie when he spun out? Wrong.
Rev, any guesses?
Well, it'd probably be me.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Congratulations.
Bing, bing, bing.
I figured you deserve to get something right today.
Yeah, right. And and actually it was that same area where that trooper down on State Route 7, which is still closed, he got hit because somebody else spun out. I was able to manage to avoid all of that, not hit anything, and just end up in a ditch.
Dude, that's crazy. Apparently there was like 8 to 12 vehicles got hit. And yours just kind of spun out of the way.
Yeah, I ended up in the ditch. I was about third out of all of those cars, and the trooper he yelled at me to stay in my car, and I did, and I could just hear crunching behind me until they could finally shut down that little bit of road.
Oh, damn, dude.
So they had to pull your car out?
Yeah. There was an awesome tow truck driver from Bill's Towing who was there to deal with everything, and he pulled out everybody, and if you didn't have issues, just kept going.
Oh, that's so crazy. So I'm such a noob when it comes to having your car pulled out of ditches. But so how do they pull it out? They have to hook something up around your tires? Like, how does that even work?
No. I have a Hyundai, and they have like a little bracket that attaches to the frame, and the tow truck driver knows exactly where it is. He came up, he attached the wire and the chain to it, and just slowly dragged me out.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Not the accident.
Yeah, it sucked that it happened, but I was glad that I managed to not get myself or anybody else injured. I didn't have any no wreckage, nothing, and I was able just to keep on going.
You probably don't need coffee for the rest of today.
No, I'm drinking a little bit of tea, and no, I'm still pretty wired. Yeah, about noon I'll probably have to pass out and take a nap.
Yeah. Well, dude, I was going down there's like a hill that leads to Shaw Road by my house, and I'm going down it, and all of a sudden I realized, oh man, I can't hit the brakes. Like, it's just going.
Yeah.
And it's like finally, eventually, like, it stopped being an issue. But that was a little bit of a scare.
It's a really slick corner anyway. That one spot, and I just went around the corner, and I was going pretty slow, and then there was a car that was just long ways, just in the middle of the road, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to hit my brakes, and my brakes aren't doing anything, and I just managed to basically thread it between the car and the divider and just go down into the ditch.
Did you have snacks in your car at least? Like that way you can like.
I have apples and oranges that I bring for lunch or whatever when we eat here.
Fun.
No, so I had that and that was it.
That's not fun. If you're going to go into a ditch, make sure you have all the treats.
Yeah. I was glad I had my Kraken beanie because I was able to put that on, and then I waited about an hour until I was able to get out.
Yeah. See, that's why I keep chocolate and nerds in my car.
I really should do that now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Monday Night Football last night, the Steelers beat the Cleveland Browns 26-14.
Supposedly a big game. Is it the last home game for Ben Roethlisberger? I think
they said some felt that it was a pretty emotional thing, and keeping their playoff hopes alive. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
I
don't like that story.
I was watching the end of it, and he was like in tears. Like,
wasn't he in tears last year too?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you say, he was probably in tears. Probably because they asked him to come back. He was like, "Well, I thought I'm retiring."
We're not.
I was done with this.
Big Brave the reporter like, "What are you, some kind of crybaby? You cried last year, Ben."
Yeah. Yeah, so this is, and I don't know. I have no idea how close they are to a playoff spot or not. I think they make them 8-7 and something, or I think. So I think they're in the running for a playoff spot.
They are. This definitely kept their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is. It would be what a crazy thing. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Ben Roethlisberger has gone to the Super Bowl via the wild card route. Matter of fact, I think that's how they got there to get to us, didn't they? If I'm not mistaken, I think they were a wild card team. But either way, I know they've done it before. So what a way would that be to end his career? Nobody's thinking of the Steelers as really being anything. And yet, what if he ended up, going to the bowl this year?
Yeah, they're 8-7-1 and on the bubble. But they wouldn't be in if the season ended today.
Oh, so they need help.
Yeah,
they need people to lose. And they obviously need to win next week.
Nah, they can lose. They'll be fine.
Oh, they'll be fine next week? Oh, all right.
Hey, as far as weather, it's going to be 42 degrees. Oh, the Kraken, they postponed another one of their games. So they won't lose this week, at least.
Oh, that's good.
We were supposed to play on Thursday, but that game's been postponed, so...
Yeah, it's a little crazy out there. We hit 1 million. I know that when it comes to that. That's 1 million reported. 1 million reported COVID cases yesterday.
There are 1 million players on the Kraken.
Wow. 1 million players on the Kraken have COVID. That is
no wonder why they're canceling games, BJ.
First of all, I didn't know we drafted that many, but I guess they didn't have time. Do you know with the big announcement? So they only just showed us a couple. But apparently the Kraken have 1 million players.
And best wishes to Brandon Tanev, who just successfully had knee surgery. So hopefully he'll be on the road to recovery. So next season, we'll have Turbo back on the ice.
Hooray! I know, man. He's such a fan favorite. That was such tough news.
Yes. He's like one of the few bright spots for many of the Kraken fans. Like, that's a guy that everyone seems to have fallen in love with. But, it's not like anything special is going to happen this year, so get your knee healthy.
So you're done. You're already. Usually you're with the Mariners till the bitter end. You're not even thinking playoffs, really?
It's so awesome to have a pro team here in Seattle. Wow. And I'm very happy about that, BJ.
Oh boy.
Something massive has to change. Yeah. I still have hope, because obviously the season's far from done, but that hope is dwindling when the team plays the way that they do, especially the goaltending. It's like one of those two goalies needs to get a hot hand so it can create some competition between the both of them, and also the defense. I could go on forever about it. Let's just say things need to change, BJ.
What you're saying is what we thought would be a strength, not necessarily the case.
But it's I hate to just completely crap on them, because also the defense has left them out to dry and has been red rotten at times.
Totally. But we thought the defense would be a strength too. I think at least with the drafting, we thought we have good defense and good goaltending.
I mean, it's just
it's been tough.
Just constantly kick us in the D.
It's been tough. You're right. I mean, it's
still fun to have a pro team.
Oh yeah,
this is the honeymoon period. This entire season.
I mean, look, and you know what? They give you entertaining games.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just those stupid revenge goals. Like, you score a goal and then you can't let the other team retaliate and get a goal a minute later. Like, it just kills all momentum. But you're right, they've been in most of these games. It's not like they're being blown out. It's just frustrating when you couple soft goals, couple defensive lapses. It's just, come on, guys, we got to have a 60-minute game right here.
It's almost as if those teams who basically left those guys available to be drafted knew what they were doing. I guess that's the whole idea. Oh, wow, it's over. Wow.
And I just need to freaking win one game, and I'll be back on the optimism train.
All right, perfect. I love this plan.
When that happens, I don't know.
I'm just, and you got no report of course, the lockout ending, and that's the other disappointing news. Is like, geez, come on, baseball, figure it out, because we're excited here in Seattle.
Right.
There's nothing good to report on. The Seahawks are out.
Hey, they haven't lost this year.
That's a good point. We're undefeated in 2022.
Keep saying that until next weekend.
Yeah, all right.
No, 42 degrees is going to be the temperature for the rain. The high today. We're going to have rain, of course. Be careful when you're driving. Thanks to Snow Quality Casino for giving us the mix report, and that's what's up.
Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Here we go.
I hate to do it, but
now he hates it.
Well, because, the other side of that Ben Roethlisberger coin is, of course, what are we hearing? The perfect replacement. I don't know if you guys saw those stories. Everyone's got Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh now.
He's only one Russell. He can't go to New York. He can't go to Pittsburgh. He can't go everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but that's now
to New Orleans.
They're saying, boy, the Steelers should make a big play for Russell Wilson because they're in a position where they really don't want to do a rebuild. They think they got a decent team and he'd be a good fit. And I read the article and I was like, I was so. And apparently they have a decent amount of draft picks they could give us. I guess I don't know.
Back up the truck with the draft picks if you want them.
Another team, you want to know another team that's thinking about it, which of course we'll never hear the end of it, is the Broncos and our buddy Caesar. Now we're going to have to hear that because I guess the Broncos also could give us some good draft picks. So that's what I'm hearing. The Broncos and Steelers are the possibility that they're going to try to go get Russell. That's what I'm hearing.
It's going to be a fun offseason. Just fun.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
By fun, I mean just, it's like you're at the point after last offseason. I don't know about you guys. I'm like, if you're going to trade him, just freaking trade him. I just don't want to spend the entire offseason hearing people speculating and having all these inside sources tell me this and that and the other thing, and then it turns out nothing happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop dinking with us and just either trade him or not.
I will say that we didn't talk about this with Mitch yesterday, but you got to remember this is a new offensive coordinator, and usually it's a stumbly experience when they've got to learn a whole new system with a new guy. And so I suspected this would be the case. I thought we had him last year, but when Mitch told us at the beginning of the year this was Waldron's first season, I was like, because if you take a look, usually it's very stumbly. It really, really is when you get a new coach of that position.
And put himself. Think about the card he was dealt. He was dealt a starting running back that got injured and couldn't play. One of your wide receivers having some injury issues and can't fully practice, and then Russell Wilson with his bad middle finger. That really, took him out several games. So now he had to adjust and use a guy that hasn't played quarterback in however many years. In an actual regular season game, and then Russ hurries back, which he shouldn't have. Now looking back on it, hindsight's 2020, but he still hasn't fully recovered from that middle finger. And also the injury.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize just, we just know this in our job. Of course I'm comparing myself to Russell Wilson, and you know what? Because the separation's in the preparation.
You both have big hands.
Yeah. But I don't know if you know this, Steve, but literally, we get used to a certain set of headphones over the years, but they end up getting, worse and worse, but you don't know they're getting worse and worse. And when I put on a brand new set of headphones that have better closure and don't let the sound bleed out, it sounds weird. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to do those first couple of shows listening to a weird sound in my head, which would be my own voice. And so imagine you know how to do stuff and they bring a new guy in and go, we want you to do it this way. Those subtle differences really, they get in your brain and it takes a while to get used to.
Oh, so you were comparing the headphones to a new coach. I was comparing the headphones to a middle finger, but I guess it both work.
Yeah, look, yeah. So I kind of want to see Russell Wilson and Shane Waldron year 2. Once they're used to each other, know the system, and see if in fact Shane Waldron was the right guy to bring in. And it's really tough to judge that on the first season. It just is. And like you said, plus the injury. It's tough to judge. I want to see if this was a good idea, because I think it could have been. Mm-hmm. It's just, this season's just been a disaster.
It's been a massive cluster F. If only we can schedule it for next season to only play the really, really bad teams. Yeah. Because we've been good against the really, really bad teams.
So the Colts. We got to play the Colts. We got to play.
Was it Houston?
Yeah, Houston. We'll play the
Detroit.
Texans. Yeah. All right, we can do that. And I would like another shot against the Bears. Okay, I really feel like the Bears. I'm willing to play them again.
All right, so those 4 teams, we just played them multiple times, and then we call it
I love this plan. You know what? Jaguars, don't forget the Jaguars. Got to get them in there. Let's see if we can get them on the schedule. Yeah, your wish might come true, because being the last place team, Steve, whenever we play anybody outside of our division or whatever, and outside of the people we have to play, we will play the bad teams. So we're going to play one bad AFC team next year and a couple of NFC teams that are in last place. So 3 games, you'll get your wish, at least.
One text says, Seattle would be dumb to trade Russ. Drop Pete before anything. Look how long it took for us to land a quarterback of Wilson's caliber. We may live the rest of our lives and never see a quarterback like Wilson rocking a Seahawks jersey. We stink at drafting. We could get 10 first-rounders and never get someone like him. Oh, yeah, especially if John Schneider's making the draft picks.
Yeah,
first round has never been a very good call.
Yeah, I forget who the running back is. There's a really good running back that we passed on that's having a great. I don't know.
A lot of really good players that they've passed.
Yeah, we passed on some dudes that are doing really well, and we're like, boy. Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, what is Juliet's surname?
Starks.
No.
Targaryen.
No.
Wow.
Donatello. No.
You know what? It was impressive. You went Game of Thrones right to the turtles. I think, you know what? I mean, yeah.
Don't we all?
I mean, really, yeah. The correct answer, I still wouldn't remember if it wasn't right in front of me. Again, it's Capulet. Yeah, that's what her name is. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 647.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of a Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.